Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, my name is Julie and I post videos on affordable drugstore makeup. I want to inspire you to love your makeup collection, and I also want to show you that drugstore can look just as good as high-end. So today I'm doing a shop my stash where I pick out makeup from my makeup collection that I've either not used in a while or maybe I wanted to revisit. So I went ahead and selected some products that I wanted to use in today's video, and this was the look that I came up with. And you will see in the video, but it almost became a fail with the eyeshadow, but I saved it and I think it turned out pretty good. But if you would like to see how to do this and shop my stash with me, then let's go ahead and jump into the video. I was going through my makeup collection last week, and I was also looking at some products that I had decluttered a while ago and kind of like reevaluating, because I resell my decluttered makeup, especially if it's not been used a lot, on a reselling app called MERCARI. I'll link my store down below if you've never heard of it or if you didn't know that I resell gently used makeup. But I was kind of going through what I had listed on there, and there were like some products that's been on there for a while and they haven't like sold, and I decided to put some of those products back in my collection. I decided maybe I don't want to depart from them. And one of my subscribers, Tracy, she asked me if I had any of these e.l.f. palettes. I think this is like what, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18. She was asking me if I had any of these e.l.f. 18 pan palettes. Like, they don't make these anymore, but I have this one in Opposites Attract, and there was another one that was really popular that she was asking me if I had in my collection. But I told Tracy that I had this palette in my collection, so I figured since she was asking me if I would do some tutorials with the palettes like this. And I had decluttered this because I hadn't used it in a long time. But honestly, when I was using this palette when it first was released, I loved it. So I was like, you know what, since it hasn't sold, I'm going to take that off of MERCARI, and I want to use it again in today's video. So I'm going to be using this palette today, but first I'm going to go ahead and prime. And the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I have not used this in quite a while, and when I first got this, I was using this a ton, and then I started getting some other like primers, and I sort of fell out of love with this Power Grip. It was like one of those things where I liked it at first, but like as you can see, like it kind of mixes strangely like with my sunscreen and my skincare products. So I think that was part of the reason why I didn't really like this primer too much, and the fact that it gets really sticky. I mean, I know that's the selling point of this primer. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to get like sticky and help to keep your foundations like stuck on your face. But honestly, I like the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer a little bit better than this, like the liquid poreless putty. And I found that it helps my foundations to last long just as well as this one. So if you've been on the fence, I say skip Power Grip, get the liquid poreless putty primer. I always get tongue-tied when I try to say that primer's name. And then for my foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match. It's been a minute since I have used this, and I picked up a slightly like darker shade than the one that I have. I normally use 0.5 to 2. It's like a range. This is 2 to 3. And it's funny because I think I have it over here, the other one. Let me grab it real quick. This is in very light. And then this one over here is in light, which to me, this one seems like it would be light and this one would be medium, or maybe like light to medium. I don't know. I feel like the shade names on these are slightly off, but I do really like this L'Oreal foundation. And I used to think that this product was different than the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint. But the more that I use these, the more I'm convinced that they're pretty much the exact same type of foundation. Like the way the finish looks, like, and just the consistency of the foundation and everything. And I think the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint, that one is a little bit more affordable than this L'Oreal. So, you know, if you're on a budget and you've been wanting to get one of these serum type of foundations, I say get the Maybelline one. I mean, I love the wear on both of them. They wear for a long time. They look really good on the skin, like a nice light to medium coverage. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out. Which hopefully this isn't like too dark. I've been kind of going slightly darker with my foundations and concealer just because I do have a little bit more of a tan. And also I feel like I keep hearing in people's videos or just in like Instagram reels or like on TikTok to use a slightly darker foundation and concealer as you get older to help minimize the appearance of like fine lines, wrinkles, imperfections, because, you know, lighter products highlight things where, you know, like darker products don't emphasize things as much. So yeah, I mean, like, obviously you don't want to use something that's like extremely dark or it's going to look really off. It's just not going to look right. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like so far using a slightly darker product in the end, it looks pretty good. So maybe I was using slightly too light of products. And then for the concealer, I'm going to do something a little bit more full coverage today. And I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I feel like it hasn't been too long ago that I used this in a video, but I just want something a little bit more full coverage since that foundation is a little bit lighter, and I just want to conceal some of these blemishes and stuff that really didn't get concealed whenever I was using the foundation. And I've just been using my Wet n Wild makeup sponge to blend out everything. And I will have all the products that I'm using today listed and linked down below. You guys know the drill. We have Pep in here today, my cat. She's sleeping. So if you hear any snoring, that is her. She's very deep in sleep right now. And then I am drinking one of these LaCroix. This is the guava one. This has been like my new obsession. I love these sparkling waters. And this flavor is so good. For my setting powder, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. And this is in the old packaging. And I had bought this probably over a year ago, but I have not used it yet because the only shade that they had whenever I was trying to pick this up was medium. And at the time it was a little too dark for me. And then I just kind of forgot about it. And now I'm like, okay, since I have a little bit more color, let's like try this out now. I mean, I may have used it once, but it's been so long ago, I don't really remember like what I thought about it. So I'm just putting some like in the lid here. And then I'm just using this large Real Techniques powder brush to just pat that in. I mean, me personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of luminous setting powders just because I find that a lot of times like luminous type of foundations are already pretty illuminating on me, like especially throughout the day. Like my skin is kind of like combo, so it can get like really shiny in the T-zone. I feel like my skin used to not be that way, but it's gotten more that way over the years. It's like normally people's skin gets, you know, more dry as they age, but I swear I think mine's went in reverse. But I usually, so that's one reason why I don't like to use illuminating setting powders. And then another reason is I feel like it just has a tendency to highlight my pores, which I just don't want that to be highlighted, but this isn't too terrible with highlighting things that I don't want highlighted. It looks pretty diffused, but I don't really know how much I would use this, just because of, like I was saying, I am kind of a little bit more combo, sort of oily at times. So, and then I'm going to take the Rimmel Stay Mattes, and I'm going to use that right here underneath the eyes. And I'm also going to kind of use that in the areas where I don't want my pores to be emphasized. So like this part of my face, like right here. And then just kind of in the T-zone. I went ahead and did my brows off camera, and I just used some brow powder, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Prep and Shape Pro Kit in the shade medium to dark. Just looks like this. This product was discontinued, so I'll just link something similar down below. And then I used the e.l.f. Brow Wow, or Wow Brow. I always want to call it Brow Wow, but it's Wow Brow. I use that to just kind of fluff up my eyebrows right here in the front, just like this. So just a really simple with the brows. And then for my eyeshadow primer, I'm just going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion, just the original. I have not used this in a minute, and I'm getting pretty low on this, so I need to just kind of use it up. But if you're looking for an affordable drugstore option, the Milani eyeshadow primer is perfect, and is usually the primer that I typically use. I mean, it's very comparable to the Urban Decay. They're basically dupes. So, and then like I said, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. This is a discontinued palette, so I'm pretty sure, I mean, unless you could find it on a resale website, you know, you're probably not going to be able to find this. I mean, I'll check to see if I can find it on Amazon, but yeah, maybe you have this in your collection or something similar, like maybe similar colors that you can bust out, but I'm trying to decide what colors I want to use today out of this palette. It has like a really nice, like warm and cool tone. That's why it was called like Opposites Attract. I think first I'm going to go in with the shade Sassy right here. It's kind of like a warm peach. And I'm using the Morphe M441. And I'm just going to blend that in the crease here. I just remember that like with this palette, the shadows just blended out really nice. Like the colors had really great pigmentation. So it's definitely a really beautiful palette. Like I said, the only reason I had pulled it to declutter was just the fact that I hadn't really been reaching for these colors. Like I feel like while I was away from YouTube, I just kind of stuck to more natural everyday looks, but I feel like the longer that I have been back on YouTube, the more I want to kind of like experiment with colorful looks. So it's kind of like getting me out of my comfort zone again, and it's helping me to appreciate palettes like this one all over again. I think maybe the other one was called like New Classics or something like that. That was also like in the same line as this. It had like 18 eyeshadows. Like it's so unfortunate that e.l.f. stopped selling these, because these were really great palettes. I feel like there was like another one that was called like Romantic something. Like, am I just making that up? But I feel like they had New Classics, Opposites Attract, and like a Romantic something palette. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong and you guys can correct me, but I'm going to try to use this shade Fresh as my brow bone highlight, but honestly, this probably isn't light enough for what I want. Like, let's just see. Yeah, it's like a little too dark, so I'm probably going to go in with like a different palette for the brow bone highlights. So, oops, I'm just going to use the LA Girl Desert Glow Envy. You guys know how much I've been loving this if you've been watching my recent videos. So, I'm just going to go in with this lightest shade. Such a beautiful brow bone highlight color. And since I've been doing more colorful looks, I'm going to branch out and I'm going to use this blue here, which is called Easygoing. It's like a bluish purple, kind of reminiscent of the shirt that I'm wearing. I'm just packing that on a flat shader brush. This is just a small concealer brush from Wet n Wild. And I'm going to put this shade all over the eyelid. And then I'll probably go over top of that with maybe like a slightly lighter shade or something in the center. I'm just going to stop with this color and I'm going to put like a different color on here to make this look better. I just don't really think this is like my color to use all over the lid type of shade. It just doesn't look the best. Yeah, like I feel like overall that's just too dark for me to use all over my lid. Okay, so I'm going to try to save this look and we're going to use maybe low key to try to lighten things up. I know that this is kind of like a duochrome kind of shade, so I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're just going to try. Okay, I think that's lightening it up a little bit. Okay, I feel like that kind of helped save it a little bit. And I don't know how I'm feeling about this look today. You know, sometimes you try something new and you decide that you don't like it. On the lower lash line, let's go in with warm to try to like warm things up a little bit because I feel like this is a little bit too cool for me. So I'm just using my Sigma pencil E30 and I'm just going to smudge that warm color underneath here. Okay, I'm going to take some more of that warm shade and I'm getting it on the tip of the Sigma E25 blending and I'm going to blend it here in the outer V area of the eye. And just kind of take it over into the crease a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going back with the LA Girl palette and some more of the light shade. And I'm going to use this as my inner corner highlights. And then to brighten up my waterline, I'm just using the Benefit Highbrow in Pink Linen. Especially since I have like that darker color on the eyelid. I just find that using a color like this on the waterline helps to brighten up my eyes a little bit. I'm still not for sure how I feel about this eye look. It's definitely not my favorite that I've created, but it will work. For the bronzer today, I want to just test out again the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is just in the shade Bronzer. This might be a little too light for me, but I just kind of want to test it to see what I'm feeling about this. So I'm just getting that on a large powder brush. This is from Real Techniques. And it's like, yeah, I do kind of feel like this isn't really my shade right now, but we'll just even this out. It's like, I feel like I might need their shade in Deep Bronzer, or I don't even know. I know that they have different shades of their bronzer, but I don't know. Maybe this is okay. I don't know. I might actually use a little bit of the Essence Bloom Baby Bloom palette, the bronzer in here, because I've also been wanting to use this bronzer again. So let's get a little bit of this. Okay, for the blush, I'm going to use the Flower Beauty Flower Pots blush in Peach Primrose, which is a really pretty like peach color. I think this would go good with the eyes. And I'm just going to apply this with the Morphe R10. Just kind of stamping it here on the apples of my cheeks and then just taking it back. Such a pretty color. I always forget about this blush. I think another thing that could really make this look come to life is using the purple like glitter topper in this palette. So I think I'm gonna do that. So let's just get that on another flat shader brush. Yeah, we'll just put it on this one. Just tap off the excess. And then I'm going to use a makeup setting spray to just intensify that glitter and also keep it from having fall out. I feel like that just kind of brings it to life a little more. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like it just lightens it just ever so slightly and makes it look brighter. And I think I might actually use the pink in the LA Girl palette as well, because I know it's going to like lighten things up a little bit, but also just keep things warm. Okay, and for my blush, or not blush, for my highlight, I'm going to use this Essence Pure Nude Highlight, and this is in Be My Sunlight. So this one is a little darker than the other one that I normally use. Like this one's got like a little bit more of a golden sort of undertone, which is really pretty. This is also one of those products that when I'm really fair, I have a hard time using it and it look okay. So it's just like a really pretty like golden type of glow. And I might take just a little bit of this highlight and also use it underneath the brow bone, maybe in the inner corner too. It's like sometimes when you don't like a look, just keep piling it on until it comes together. And I'm going to go ahead and mist my face with this LA Girl makeup setting spray before I finish off the eyes and do the lips. I'm going to line my eyes today with the Physicians Formula Eye Booster in Deep Brown. Then I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes up once this liner dries. And I'm just going to use my Maybelline excuse me. And I'm just going to use the Maybelline Lash Sensational for my mascara. For the lips, I'm going to do something a bit brighter today, actually, even though that this eye look is more colorful. We're doing different things today. So I'm just going to line my lips with this Milani Statement Lip Liner, and this is in the color Spice. And then over top of that, I'm going to use this CoverGirl Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Balm, and this is in the shade Life is Pink. And then that is this makeup look done. If you didn't feel comfortable doing a bright lip with this, you could totally do a nude. Like, I think the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink and Cheeky would be really good with this eye look as well, like with this blush color. But this is the final look. I think it ended up turning out okay, even though at first I was a tad bit worried with everything. So yeah, definitely with this e.l.f. palette, there are some hit or miss type of shades in here. But overall, like at least the warmer shades, I do remember really liking the warmer shades in this palette. So I'll have to continue to use this to decide, like, do I want to keep this and not declutter it, or do I want to declutter it? I don't know. So I'll just have to use it a little bit more, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this Shop My Stash. All the other products that I used today just made me remember how much I really like them. Like, I'm glad I got back into this little palette again with the bronzer. Really like that bronzer shade. I want to maybe do another Shop My Stash in the future, or some other video where I can use like this whole palette again, because I really like that. Also, this highlight is really good. So, and yeah, I guess I'll have to try to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder a bit more. But like I said, since my skin can get a little oily, I don't like that quite as much as more mattifying or just natural finish type of powders. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, or let me know down in the comments, and also leave any video requests that you have for me. I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.